Welcome back.
Mari-Lyn's fault. She made me laugh right when we were starting. It's all
I was making funny faces. Well, yeah, they were funny faces. They were over exaggerated,
yes.
smiling, happy faces.
Yeah. Yeah. So, woo. Anyway, hope you're all doing well. Hope you're all having a beautiful day in your week since our last Actually,
I hope you're all surviving the crazy,
oh, gee.
energetic, energetic, universal energies, the crazy universal energies that are happening right now.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
The old planetary crap.
Oh
Let's
my
just
goodness.
say. And I'm not, you all know, you've lit, Mary, ha, he, ha.
Hello. By the way, Mercury is still in retrograde.
Yes.
Affecting
Mari-Lyn and
all
I don't,
communication.
we don't follow the planets. It's really interesting. Yes, they have effect on us. Yes, it's something to pay attention to, but not, in my opinion, don't be following them. You have to do your own thing within the energy shifts.
Excuse me.
With that said,
Yes. There is comfort though when you're struggling and you realize, oh my goodness, no wonder I'm
yes,
struggling.
yes, yes. And it just so happens that we are recording this. This will come out tomorrow. So when you're listening to this, it'll be, or whenever, but I mean, it's a day.
Right.
It's not, we sometimes have them weeks in advance, but not this time. So we're right in the energy right now of Jupiter. I almost want to say Juniper. Jupiter and Uranus conjunction.
That conjunction. Yep.
Now, I don't know what all that means, honestly. However, it only happens like every 14 years or something. And so it's a big shift, and we have been feeling it.
Mm-hmm.
Like for about a month now, I have just been struggling. And really, 2000, excuse me, 2023 was a rough, it was good, but a lot of changes within
Right.
during that time.
Right. So you take this conjunction or this aligning, right? I think that's what it is they align.
Okay.
You put that in the middle of the solar eclipse that happened, the lunar eclipse that happened, Mercury being in retrograde,
Mhm.
the moon.
Where we are in the moon cycle.
Thank you.
I got you.
Like I said, communication is affected, although
Yes.
my communication skills sometimes, anyway, we're not going there. It's big. It's big changes.
Ooh. Yeah.
For me, how this 14-year cycle lines up within my personal life blew my mind.
Oh my gosh. We have to talk about that today.
It happens every 14 years, and it's not every 14 years to the date.
Nope.
So it's roughly
the
every
moon cycle.
years.
So the moon cycle is right, because the moon cycle is different than the sun cycle. Or I guess, whatever, right? We go by the sun, don't we? But the moon cycle is, okay, go ahead.
Yeah, the moon cycle is like, what, 28 and a half days or 29 and a half days? I mean, it's not.
Right. It goes, like each year you lose 11 days. Okay.
Yeah, it's bizarre.
It's
beyond my mental capacity.
I understood it when it was being explained to me. Just don't ask me to explain it clearly.
Okay, so this Jupiter Uranus conjunction, it happens every 14 years. Well, I just celebrated 14 years of sobriety.
Woo, woo,
And when I made that connection of 14 years in sobriety, then I looked 14 years prior to sobriety in comparison to the prior 14 years.
Right.
Blew my mind as to the changes that were coincidentally
in air
within
quotes.
that time frame.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Very crazy.
Crazy making. Yeah.
And should we open space real quick?
Sure.
Do that? Does everyone want to do? Yeah. Well, like I can hear you all. Do you all want to do that? Like I'm in front of an audience.
We're not live because, we refuse to do lives. So
we should do a live once in a while. I don't know if this would be a great time for a live, but yeah. And you all can let us know what you all think about that.
yes,
Okay.
please do. Please do.
All right. Would you like to open space or would you like me to?
I would prefer you to, please.
Okay. Thanks. All right. Woo! We open this beautiful sacred space around us, and everyone listening is within this space. I'd also like to close down any spaces that are open now around you, within you, whether it's a space that your spinning ego has created, your overwhelmed emotional state has created. We open spaces around us all the time without knowing or realizing, not on purpose, I should say. So we want to close everything down around us. Take down our ego, open us up to the possibilities, the beautiful conversation today. We set our intention to receive from spirit what we need today, whether the words come out of Mari-Lyn or myself. We want you to hear what you need to hear today. And that's the intention that we set. As we sit in this beautiful energy, as we aligned yesterday to this new planetary system for the next 14 years. That's something we'll talk about. We thank you very much for this opportunity, Spirit. We sit in love and gratitude to you, and we are honored to be here as we set this beautiful space at that of love. So it is. All right.
Thank you.
So one of the things that happened, Fred and I do a meditation every week, and we put it out. It goes out on Sunday. All week, I knew I had to do a meditation, and it just wasn't coming. And so I was like, okay, well, it's not time yet. So I guess we did it on Saturday, didn't we, Mari-Lyn? I was thinking yesterday. Today's Monday. So Saturday, Fred let me know that this was going to be this is an alignment. We're aligning to this 14-year change. I really don't know what that means. So I was talking to Mari-Lyn. I said, do you want to be a part of this? Do you want to sit there while I'm doing this? I love having people physically there when I do a meditation. It's not the same in that way for me doing it on, recording it.
It's not the same.
No. No. So we got together and I did it. And one of the things that came out, and so this past Sunday, I think it's number 37. For all of you, I encourage you all to do this meditation. It's an alignment. It's not a straight one of Fred's meditations.
Right. Yes. And it's an alignment to your future.
Yes.
To your highest.
Yes.
Good.
Yes. Yeah. And honestly, whenever you do this meditation, whenever you get this alignment, because there's no such thing as time. It's not linear. It's whenever you sit down to do it, you will draw in the energy of those planets, of that moment of opening.
Right.
So you'll get it. But one of the things that came out was being in service to yourself.
Mhm.
And I remember when that came through and I said it, I knew that was something that you can feel, like the clarity that happens, but I can't sit and
Yes.
think about it at the moment because I'm channeling. I have to stay in the channel and keep going. And afterward, I think that was one of the first things you said to me. And that was, I think, more toward the beginning of it.
Well, and I can tell you, listening to you, excuse me, listening to you say it,
Mhm.
the power hit me
Yeah.
so strong. I couldn't, I knew what it meant,
Mhm.
but it was so powerful that I couldn't really
Whew.
digest it or
Chills.
think about it.
Right.
In the moment, I just had to embrace the meaning
Yes.
and just allow.
Just allow it to allow
I
the
could not
alignment
think
to
about
happen.
it. Yeah.
Mm-mm. No.
Yeah.
And I'm not even sure it was one of the first things you said to me when we came out of the meditation.
Mhm.
And but we still didn't really talk about it, I don't think, until the next day.
No, we didn't. And I'm not even sure we fully talked about it.
I
I
agree.
think this
That's what
conversation
today
is
is
going
about.
to
Yeah.
be really the first conversation about it.
Yeah. So,
I have a
okay,
question for you though.
sure.
So we did this on Saturday, relatively early in the day.
Mhm.
The conjunction actually happened Saturday at,
Hours later. Mhm.
yeah, hours. It was, I believe, at 7:27 p.m.
Mhm.
our local time.
Yes.
Did you feel any energetic effects when that happened, when that time came around?
Not that I recall.
I
You
did.
did? Okay.
I remember my husband and I were watching disc golf.
Mhm.
We were watching a tournament.
Because that's fun. Sorry.
Oh my God, it's so fun.
Mari-Lyn and I have such a different idea of like what's fun. Yes. I love that you love it.
Anyway,
I do. It makes her
anyway,
so
we're
happy.
watching, and all of a sudden I realized I am half asleep. I can't keep my eyes open. I am, I don't know where. I've been never like that.
Yeah.
And I said to my husband, I need to go sit in the hot tub.
Okay.
I needed, number one, I needed to be outside.
Mhm. Yes.
That this there's a safety in water, which is
Well,
so weird.
you're such a you have so much water. You're a watery gal.
I am a 2 out of 3 water person.
Yes.
Um, and so, we shut everything off, and we did. We went out and sat in the hot tub, and I could just
Oh,
allow more energy to run
wow.
through me. But it was insane how out I was taken.
So I did not have that experience. However, as you're talking,
Mhm.
I'm remembering how taught. Now, I'm not a great sleeper. Uh, this sleep is sort of, eludes me. But I remember Saturday night going to bed way earlier than usual, like
Mhm.
9, which for me is an early bedtime.
Yeah.
So maybe it did hit and I didn't put two and two together,
You didn't put them together.
right?
Maybe.
Yeah, because I remember just sort of being part of the sofa and Mike and I are just talking away and just like, okay, I think I'm ready for a bit. And that's kind of his bedtime. If not during the week, it's earlier because he's up at like 4 a.m. because he's a kind of a freak. But
Mhm.
yeah.
Hey, Ellie, well, he gets up at 4 a.m. to go to work.
Yes.
My husband gets up at 4 a.m. to go hunting.
Yes. Those freaky people.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Yeah. Even last night though, I went to bed at 8:30
Wow.
and
Yeah.
I was out. I was gone.
You needed, I want to say this too, because it's going to affect everyone differently. Although, so my students, our students, um, I, I'm used to saying my, like they're my, but they're not, they're ours now. Mari-Lyn does a lot of teaching as well. Um, every one of them felt, excuse me, though it struck us differently, the one of the same, the thread through everyone was the heaviness of it.
Mm-hmm.
That was the same. And you really, it was until Saturday afternoon,
Yep.
all the way till Sunday night, like you were in it.
Yep.
You were releasing stuff. We had a conversation yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
You texted me and you were like, I'm something's on. Can you look at what's happening? So we started talking about it, and it was a
Didn't
lot
I,
of
didn't I say something like, I feel like I need an alignment? Wait a minute. Didn't we just do
yes,
that?
yes,
I was seriously, I was
yeah,
so confused.
yeah.
Um, I really was. Internally, externally, things weren't making sense. It
No.
was bizarre.
But look at you today, just aligned and ready to go. We've already,
Most part.
Mari-Lyn and I have already been talking today. She had sessions today. Like you're open, you're ready for
Yeah.
business. And you're not, because yesterday I'll admit I was a little worried. It's like, oh, she's kind of not depressed, but you still felt that heaviness in you
Oh, I was
yesterday.
so heavy.
Yeah.
I I think uh, confusion. I just don't even know how to
Yeah.
express how much
And I will agree,
confusion I
because you
had.
asked me a few questions and I'm like, what? I mean, I answered them because you asked. I'm not trying to be an asshole, but I was like, in my head, I was like, why is she asking me this? Like it was odd. And it was part of your confusion. It was
It
the
was.
energies. This alignment was
Mhm.
so big. And I hope we're not talking any of you out of doing this, because getting on the other side of
Oh,
it is brilliant and it's
yeah.
fabulous. But it gets, we're talking down to the quantum level. We're talking
Yep.
deep cellular, energetic,
Yep.
soul level movement.
Yep.
Ridding ourselves of whatever the past and I never looked to see what the other, like the past 14 years, what was that? I didn't look to see kind of what we could be releasing or whatever. And again, I don't go by all of that. And if depending on the astrology you talk to too, they can all be
Sure.
something a little different. But a
Sure.
lot of crap weighing us down was released
Mhm.
and aligned to our future and self-service. Being in service to ourself. That's what these next 14 years are, at least
Mhm.
from what I received. And all of you can, think for yourself. I don't
Right.
want to.
And that self-service is going to be different for
Yes.
every person.
Uh-huh.
And for some people, it might be in every aspect of their lives. For
Yes.
another person, it might be one specific
Yes.
area of their life.
Yes.
For me, I feel like it is all encompassing.
Yes.
Yesterday, I fully believe that a lot of my confusion
Mhm.
was that the even through all the healing I've done
Mhm.
in the past 14 years,
Mhm.
there are still energetic beliefs that we really don't understand. Even if we've acknowledged them, we
Yes.
still don't understand them.
I agree.
And we don't understand to the depths that they hold us.
Yes.
Some of those were coming up to the surface yesterday.
Oof. Yeah. It was some heavy
Yeah.
stuff.
It was,
Mine was just different. Mine is more, it is all encompassing, yes. Yet mine is really more focused on my spiritual mission here. I think at least that's the way it came. In the next 14 years, there could be some shifts happening. But really that's
I can
it.
guarantee shift is going to happen.
Oh boy, yes.
Yeah.
And ride the wave, people. Don't fight it. Ride it. Hey,
Yeah,
that's a good, that's, I'm sure someone has already said that, but that's a good, that's like
probably.
a bumper sticker.
Hmm.
Yeah. Don't
Yeah.
fight it, ride it. Okay.
Yep.
Um,
Absolutely.
but being in
Yeah.
service to yourself is not the same as self-care. That was very clear.
No.
We're not talking self-care here.
Yesterday, all I could do was self care. That is
Yes.
bare bones minimum. All I could do yesterday was
Yes.
self care because I didn't even know what self service meant yesterday.
Oh, do tell. Ooh, I have chills. Preach it, sister. Tell us.
Because I was, because of that confusion of quite literally, what do I believe? What do I believe about myself?
Wow.
What
Okay.
do I believe about my perceptions? What do I believe about spirit?
Nice.
Not not my belief in spirit, not my belief that there is this universal high vibrational energy.
Right.
That wasn't in question.
No, I'd be worried if it were.
How how do I even say it? How I allow spirit to work through me
Yeah.
was probably the best way to say it. Um,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
how knowing how I've been, how am I going to move forward?
Okay. Okay. That was very different from my experience.
Yeah,
Yet, in the same, it's the same thing. We are each individual, so obviously it's going to be different for everyone.
right, right.
But that, so what was so clear was the self-service, being in service to yourself really says you are in service to spirit. You are in service to your soul. This this lifetime that we've created here, the things that we want to do, the how we want to be and who we want to be and all of that, that's being in service to yourself, which is being in service to spirit, and it's time to be aligned to that. So for me it was, here's in this lane, and I am on that path. I am staring right down the barrel of, this is my future. This is that, being in service to myself. And I've been crooked. I've been looking off to the left, if that makes sense. So it just sort of swung me right where I needed to be and said, okay, okay, it's like really clear the things that I no longer need now. I'm no longer going to do this or that or the other now. Just let it go. That's not, I'm trying to make things happen. They're not within my destiny or what I came to do, right? It's that sheer pleasure and love of doing something. That's how you know you're in the right place. That's how you know. And when we're trying to do it for other people or for money or for other reasons, you're going to fall on your face every time.
Every time.
That's not
Right.
being in service to yourself.
No.
In service to yourself is being, facing the direction of inspiration and love is what's coming from Fred.
Mm-hmm.
For me. Now, the everyone else, you might have different verbiage, and please allow that other verbiage to come.
Mm-hmm.
For me, that's what it is for me, to stand in my valor, to stand facing that light and saying, I know what I'm doing is right, and going. Does that make sense?
It
Maybe it's
does.
making sense to me.
No, it makes perfect sense. It is not, it's not aligned for me because that's
Right, right,
you.
exactly. Yes.
Totally makes sense though.
Yes.
I haven't received that much clarity.
Yeah.
However, what I was getting as you were talking
Yeah.
was I overthink more than I realize I do.
Oh, yeah.
Part of what's shifting in me is the ability to just let it go.
Yes.
Let go
Yes.
doesn't serve me without trying to dissect it.
Yes.
Um, which is really funny that they say, you overthink things more than you think you do, which is really a scary thought.
Yes.
Because for so long I had such black and white thinking. And with black and white thinking, oh my
Well,
God, you have to think the hell out of things.
yes. Well, there was a question that you asked me, which is a brilliant question. How do I know? What was it? Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Something about how do I know I'm not bypassing? Something like
how
that.
do I know I'm shaking it off and not bypassing
That's
it?
right. Because Fred said, shake it off. And not
And
shake it. And just like he showed me like a wet dog shakes and the water flies
right.
off. That's what, like, shake it off. Just woof. Okay. Now
And
you're fine. Go on.
I was so worried about, but what if I'm bypassing?
Right. Yes. And here's what's coming right now. I don't think this came yesterday when we were talking. Is Spirit's going to bring it back to you if it's something that you need. You're not going to be able to shake something off or bypass something and just think, or excuse me, you're not going to be able to just bypass something and keep on going without it coming back to you.
That's
You can
true.
shake it off and leave it, but you have a lesson, you have a lesson. It's coming back for you.
That's true.
It's going to come back in a different way. It's going to look different, whatever.
So my overthinking looks so different than your overthinking.
Oh, so different.
My
Because
overthinking
I'm an
goes
overthinker.
deep.
Yes.
Your overthinking, and correct me if I'm wrong, please. Mine goes down. Yours goes around.
Yes. Yours is very, they're both emotional, but in a different way. Yes. Mine spins like a tornado in my head.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mine just goes deeper and deeper
Yes.
into the depths of, oh my God, I don't
Hell.
even want to know. Yeah, seriously.
Yes.
Seriously. But being in service to myself, man, I was in service to my ego for so many years
Oh, yeah.
that the opportunity to really be in service to me
Yes. Yes.
first, the very first thing that comes from me in being of service to me is doing what's best
Yes.
for me in any situation.
Yes.
Not to confuse self-care with this self-service.
Or self-centered. Those are all three different things.
They're all very different. But in this self-service for me comes how I care for myself.
Okay, that's certainly, yep, okay, yep.
And when I'm not talking that self-care piece,
Right.
this is deeper. This is that deep. How do I care for myself? Do I care for myself? Do I care what I'm putting in my body?
Mm-hmm.
Do I care what comes out of my mouth?
Mm-hmm.
Do I care about how I'm sitting in the chair? Quite literally.
Yes.
Being in service to myself is sitting better in my chair.
Yes. Yes. The amount of sleep you get, how much and what you eat, how you exercise, when you exercise, how you hold yourself. Yeah. That's all like, yes, I'm getting this ding,
Yeah.
ding, 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 ding all
And
over the
it's,
place. And that's not what it means for me in this, that, go
and
ahead.
for most people, that would be self care.
Yes.
For me, self care looks so different.
So different.
So different.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. Yeah. Self care for me is, am I resting when I need to rest?
Yes.
Um, I'm not going to go into all the self care stuff because this isn't about self care. This is about being in
Right.
service
Right.
to ourselves. But along with all of those things, it's also how am I presenting myself to the world?
Right.
Am I presenting my authentic self to the world? And am I giving the message that I want to give
Right.
about me,
Yes.
about what I do through spirit, about what spirit does through me?
Yes. 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 Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah.
And it really, what's coming is it really depends on it. It really is so individual because, first of all, everyone is so individual and everyone comes in with certain parts of their life that there's just no problems. It's just clicking along. There's
Right.
no issue
Yeah.
there. And then there's other ones where it's like chug, 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 chug. It's like just, you know,
I think I can. I think I can.
right,
I think
yes.
I can. I think I can.
Yes.
Yeah.
And for me, it is in the area is in the area of my career, of what I want to say, of the messages I want to get out there, of the woof. I just had a really several things happen at once. The weight of the message that we have, the weight of that, with Fred saying it shouldn't weigh you down because it's what you're meant to do. So so when I am in service to myself, it's not heavy. When I start going to that place, oh, what should I say? What should I do? Oh, should I do this? Should I do that? Blah, 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 blah. That spinning, that heaviness, that's not being in service to myself, to spirit, to the reason I'm here. Does that make sense?
I think that could be the one universal truth in
Oh, okay.
service to oneself. If it's heavy, you are not in service to yourself.
Correct. Yeah. Yes.
Because if you are truly
Yes.
being not self-serving,
Not self-serving. No, that's very
if
different.
you are in self-service,
Yes.
it will be light.
Yes.
Does that mean there won't be weight to it? No.
Nope.
But there will be a lightness to it and it will be easier.
It's that thing, what they just showed me. I've been knocked down so many times. In my right? You get knocked down. And there's no shame in being knocked down. It's when you don't get back up. I continually get knocked down in my career. The ups and the downs, you all would be amazed how many there have been. Just it's a lot. I'm always the shifts and the turns and the dips and the highs and the low. It's just crazy. And I keep getting back up again.
Hmm?
That's self-service. That is being in service to me and my direction, where I'm going. I have a message. I'm not the only one with this message. There are many of us out there with this message, and we need to get the message out of who spirit is, why spirit is here, what our role is, just the whole thing. Even a big part of my message is the paranormal and how that is spiritual, people. That is spiritual. And
Right.
we've given this name of paranormal, and that's really kind of a disservice to that. But anyway, that's part of it. I'm certainly not the only person that has that voice or that opinion or what we've come to do. You certainly have that same,
I
that,
do.
yes. And there are other people around the world who have it too. We hear people, there's very few of us speaking this truth.
We 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 need to create a new word to replace paranormal.
We do. We do. I need to write
We
that down.
really do. Paranormal, I do believe that word has a definition. It has a place.
Yes.
But right now, too many things fall within
Yes.
that word, that category, that definition.
Yes. And it's
And
wrong.
yeah.
It's wrong. It's just wrong. And that is my message, again, along with a lot of other people, but we're just talking about me at the moment and my self-service. And that is when I am in service, when I'm speaking that truth. And that's where my light is. That's where, I mean, you can, if you're watching me right now or just listening, you can probably hear it in my voice. You can see it in the way I'm sitting and the way I'm expressing myself. This is being in service to myself, to spirit, by jumping in to this lane, because someone's got to say it. We have got to get this boat turned around. Someday, most likely, I will not be around to see the shift of ghost hunting being a thing of the past. Ghost hunting being seen as the barbaric act that it is. Yes. Yeah, sorry, that's very passionate. So you all are wondering where my alignment went. That's where it was. It's like, this is in service to myself, is speaking that truth. And it's not knocking anyone else down for having their opinions or whatever, even though certainly I have my opinions on that. That's my ego. But that's my being in service, is continuing this message. Continue it, continue it, continue it, and keep going and be inspired by people who listen, people who share it, people who want there to be, who want to further
Yeah,
that voice
absolutely.
that's just not out
Absolutely.
there. So, whoo, anyway, how do you do? There's my self-service or being in service. Yes.
And for everyone, it's going to be different, like we've said.
Mhm.
Some people, this is going to be a very personal
Yeah.
shift.
For you, I think
It's very personal for
yeah.
me, and it ultimately this will affect every aspect of my life.
Yes.
Absolutely every aspect of it.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Mhm.
There will be some people where it's only their career.
Yep.
Some people, what's coming is that it will be mainly in relation to their children.
Right. Mhm.
Nothing else.
Right.
Just in their children.
Yes.
Other people, it might be with one relationship.
Yes.
Any and all scenarios are absolutely possible.
Mhm.
But what's coming is that it's really important to allow it to be what it is.
Yes. Good point. Mhm.
If it is, you realize that there's one relationship in your life that is being affected by this.
Mhm.
None of the other relationships are. That's not because there's something wrong.
Mm-mm.
It's not because you're ignoring something. It's just that one relationship is what needed that drastic change. And to trust that whatever is shifting within you, it will affect everything in the
Everything.
best possible
Everything.
way.
Everything. Yes.
Um,
Because this
yeah.
standing in This self-service, I can already tell you it's going to affect my husband, my children, my grandchildren, that that
Me?
my best friend. Yes. And in a beautiful way, though.
Mhm.
Like when you have people in your life, and thank God I do, who, and not all of like we're taking out the family I was born into. We're take those people out of there. We're talking about my husband, children, um, they want to see me succeed. I've had other shifts similar to this, not to this degree, because I had a lot to learn and heal and everything to get to where I am, but they're always so happy for me.
Mhm.
Always so happy. That's truly how you know that person is really meant to be there, or that's a person, a cheerleader. When you have cheerleaders in your life and yes, it's and so I don't need, so this is going to affect all of that, but that's really not the area that I need this. I need this in this area, speaking truth to paranormal spiritual stuff.
Right.
And that's where I get knocked down the most. That's where I most self-sabotage, or
Mhm.
I start getting down. I start spinning them out. You've known me for a long time, Mari-Lyn. You know that most of the time when I'm in crazy town, it surrounds this. It
Sure.
surrounds that's my spiritual goals in this lifetime.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
So
I
as you were talking,
hmm,
you said, I've had many shifts before, none like this, because this particular one is aligned absolutely with the planets.
yes. Yes.
Would you be shifting anyway? Yes, but anyway,
Yes.
what came as you were talking about how what you are transforming into is going to affect your husband and your children and your family is this time they're all shifting too.
Oh, yes. And yes, they
This
are.
time in the this big transformation,
Yes.
this shift that I'm going through,
Yeah.
my husband is having
Ooh,
his own
yeah.
shift.
And whether they know it or not, it's happening.
It right. It
Yeah.
doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
No. You
It
can be
is
an
happening.
atheist. I'm gonna tell you, you're shifting.
Shift happens. It does.
Shift
Shift
happens.
happens.
Yes. We need to have
So
shirts that say that. Shift happens.
how amazing is it going to be able to step out of my own shift
Yeah.
and observe the shift my husband is going through?
Yes. Hmm.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Amazing. I don't know what other words to throw on there, but yeah, watching someone shift into a a healthier form of themselves, I don't know what verbiage to put on that, is such a beautiful, wow. It's
Yeah.
inspiring. It's soul honoring that I am in this place where I get to watch this happen.
Yeah.
It's just amazing. Yeah.
And this shift didn't just start on Saturday,
No,
either one of us,
no,
for
man.
anybody.
Mm-mm.
It's been in the works.
Mm-hmm.
And I have witnessed a shift in my husband
Yes.
as I have shifted.
Yes.
And this is it's been big.
Yes. And you all just FYI, or FY as my kids used to say. Um the shifts happen. I kind of lost my train of thought there, but you're going to shift to get give yourself a break if your partner, whoever it is that you're living with is going through a really rough time right now and they're just pissing you off. And I'm not saying your husband's doing that. I'm just saying in general,
Right.
especially if it's like one of your kids, it's like, it gets so uncomfortable. Try
Yeah.
to remember that the uncomfortability is the shift to take a step back, be gentle with yourself and that other person, and allow the shift to just take place. And they're going to land where they land.
Right.
Some people are going to land on the shit side of it because they want to land over there on the shit side of it. They still want to be angry. They still want to be whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
And it may affect them even worse now because at a soul level, they know they should be pointed that way, but they've chosen to go that way, and no bueno.
Mm-hmm.
But just know, try to be patient with yourself and the others in your life. And hopefully you can see it as something positive.
Mm-hmm. Patience is really key
Yeah.
right now.
Yes. Yes. I saw now that you're talking, and I'm not going to tell his business because it's not my business to tell, but now that we were just talking, it's like, oh yeah. Oh yeah, Mike has gone through like these past few weeks. Now that I look back, it's like, oh, and it's with his career as well. Although it's more personal, there's a personal shift in his, like in his leader. He's a wonderful, he's a great boss and leader. And I'm not just saying that because he's my husband. He really is fabulous coach, all of that. Like that's his, but there's this shift. This is a more personal thing for him. More like you, I think, in that personal, but I see it more, I have seen it express itself in his career more
Mm-hmm.
than anyone,
Sure.
which doesn't mean I'm just now thinking about it. So and it's really not for me to think about, so I'm not getting in there, but
Right.
um,
But just the observation of, oh yeah,
yes,
it's
that's the why.
it's
That's the
brilliant.
why,
Yeah.
which is what my grandfather used to say. If you asked, if he said something and you asked why, he'd say whatever, like because I said so. That's the why. It was always that's the why. Okay.
That's the why.
It just reminded me of him. That's the why. But it's
Oh.
so honestly, if whoever is listening to this and you feel yourself struggling these days and you have not done that alignment, I'm telling you, please look at
Mm.
that alignment.
Mm-hmm.
Do that alignment. It's on our YouTube channel, the Conscious Spirit Podcast, number 37. I
Mm-hmm.
believe it's the very last one.
I want to
Honestly,
say, if you do that and you don't get anything, go back and do the one, oh my gosh, I can't remember. I think it might be the one right before it, where you sit in the eye of the storm.
oh yeah, I don't remember what that is. Was at least the last. It's been in the past few weeks that one went up, and I
Yeah.
don't remember which one. Yeah,
Yep. It's pretty recent.
yeah.
Do that one and then give yourself a couple of days and then do the alignment one.
Good advice. Wow, I could see where that would really.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oof.
That
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 Eye of the Storm one.
eye
Holy
of the storm. Oh
crap.
my gosh. The first time I sat down to do it, I got so pissed. This is what I want. And I turned it off. This is not what I want. Turn it off. It was it later the same day? It was either later the same day or the next morning. I went, oh crap. Okay. I sat down and I did it, and it was exactly what I needed.
When you, and this is to everyone, when you sit down to do a meditation, especially one of Fred's meds, I'm just going to stick with Fred's meds because,
Yeah.
right? And like, I got nothing out of that, or I don't want to do this, or you get angry and you turn it off, or whatever. Go back. You need that
Go
meditation.
back.
You
Yes.
need it. Yes.
Go back.
And how many times, Mari-Lyn, have I texted you or called you and said, I just did a meditation. It's so weird. I don't even know if I'll put it out. This is just stupid. And it was
A
because
lot.
it's what I said.
A lot. In fact, there was one. I said, "Oh, I'll listen to it here," and you said, "Don't bother. I already deleted it."
Deleted it, yes. And I'm sure it's what I needed. I'm sure. Yeah.
But also,
Oh.
don't beat yourself up for, not being able to follow a meditation or going like I did. This is not what I want. Peace. It happens and it's okay. And I mean, you wouldn't think I would sit down and go, "Oh, that's not what I want."
Right.
After all these years and all the healing, but I'm
All the
human
trust. Yeah.
and all the trust. I'm still human. And,
Yeah.
you know, timing is important.
And we as humans give up easily. We will give up easily. That whole this isn't for me, or I don't like this, or oh, that's not what I wanted something else. That's letting our ego get in the way, our wounding. That is us saying, I know better than spirit does, so whatever. And not always. I mean, there are times when I really want, I really would like something a little different. I mean, the difference. People know the difference.
I'm going to say, though, in those times where we're like quick to judge, oh, this isn't what I want.
Right.
Typically, when we're that quick to judge it,
Uh-huh.
we have such an unrealistic expectation.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
When we have an idea or a feeling or a thought of what we want and we hear something, no, this really isn't quite what I want. Mm-hmm. We tend to give it a beat. We tend to give it a chance and then make a decision. But those quick knee-jerk things, that's usually because we have an unrealistic expectation around something.
Yep. Or it just basically hit my wounding and I'm like, F you, I'm not going there. I just don't like it. I don't like her voice, or I don't like, like you make up these excuses why it's just not
right.
Or that music is terrible with it. Yes.
Yeah.
When we were talking, I was of course talking to Fred, I'm always yammering with him. And because I was like, because we were talking about this, right? So every Sunday one comes out and maybe it's not what you really want. And what he was saying was it's a universal truth at that moment. Everyone could use what's in that meditation. Some people are going to get hit harder with it than others, but there's always, I have chills everywhere. But
I do too.
It's aligned. There are certain universal truths and things that happen to all of us at the same time. So every time you sit down for one of Fred's meds, every Sunday, I put a new one out, and it's very universal. Everyone can do it and receive something from it. Mm-hmm. Can you go back to the other ones and do it? Absolutely, if that's what you want to do. But it's kind of like he's showing me right now. It's kind of like when all the planets moving and shifting, and the new moon, and this goes into this, and there's a conjunction and a square and a whatever, blah, blah, blah. That the meditations are in alignment with all of that and more. Like that's all my little pea brain can get. Like it's above my pay grade. And
at the same time, if you don't do it until 6 weeks from now, you're going to pull in the energy that was of that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Just like this alignment. Yeah. You're going to, when you sit down for that alignment, could be 6 months from now, you're going to pull in all the energy from that moment that it, that's the way time runs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
And it also, you can do them more than once.
Yes.
Just because we did this, I got to do it live, which was, yes, it was powerful. It was wonderful. There's nothing that says I can't go back and do that meditation again,
Right.
multiple times even. I can all but guarantee you I'm going to get something different every time.
Every single time, if you just allow it to be.
Mm-hmm. Even if it's more of the same, it's going to be different because it's more.
Yes. Deeper, more layers.
More layers.
There is a lot of layers to Friends Mend. It's
Mm-hmm.
not just a meditation, sort of in quotes. There
Mm-hmm.
is so much going on. So much going on. Yeah.
There's some meditations that I've experienced that I actually do. It's like I go in stages, right? I'll do the meditation and I'll come out and I'll go, oh, wow. And
Mhm.
then a couple of weeks, even a couple of months, I'll be drawn back to that meditation. And it's almost as though it picks up where it left off. Like everything I got from the first one is
Yes.
there. And
Mhm.
then it goes deeper and it builds on it.
Yes.
There's a couple that I've done that like 3 or 4 times. And it's like this, it's like a mini series, if you will.
Yeah.
Each
Yeah.
time I do it, it just goes deeper and bigger and broader and more clarity and more healing. And it's crazy.
I have a dream, and that is being in an auditorium and like a movie theater where the seats are comfortable, you can kind of lean back a little bit and whatever, and guiding meditations for like 100 people.
Mm-hmm.
That energy would be wow. And I would need you there to
Oh,
help
I would
the space for everyone. You'd be front
be there. I'd be so mad if you went and did that without me.
Yeah.
And I can't
That's a
tell you
dream.
how many times I have seen that happen in channeling, in meditating.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah.
it's going to happen.
It's going to happen.
It's
Absolutely.
going to
I
happen.
absolutely trust it will. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty that there's nothing quite like that. Like having, we only did like 10 to 12 people at a time, but having those like-minded people there all open and boy, remember when we would have someone come to meditation who didn't want to open and it was like a lead balloon in the middle of our
Painful.
painful.
Yeah.
You could feel that someone was not willing to open and everyone felt it.
Yeah.
Everyone could feel it.
Yeah.
Yes. And we were always kind of happy if they didn't come back again. Because it's like, if you're not going to open and just be with it. Yeah.
And there's also been those people who have come and that's been the experience, but they've come back. And every time it's like
They
they
want it.
soften, they
Yes.
soften. And then pretty
Yes.
soon it's like they're in it and it's amazing. Watching someone go through that
Yes.
transformation, that's priceless.
It is. It's beautiful.
Mhm.
Watching spirit work, watching them be in service. There you are. That's in service to yourself.
Being in service to yourself. Exactly. Somebody who wants it and is willing to do the
Yes.
work to make it happen.
Yes.
Because just saying I want to do it.
Right. Well, and I've talked about this, Mari-Lyn, you were one of those people. I mean, you were open, but the piece of you were you got your ass kicked. I don't know how many times in a row. You would come to meditation and it would just be she'd just be blubbering. But it's that beautiful cry that from your soul that you just got so much recognition of your soul, of your spirit, and who you
Mhm.
are and where you are on this, like that kind of earth shattering, and watching that happen over and over and over and over and over and over again was amazing. And that's a little different than what we were talking about. But you kept coming back. You got thrown down stadium stairs, not just one little staircase.
No, you're right. It was stadium stairs. And, listening to you say that and putting myself back in that energy of just that repeated being beat up with love.
Yeah. Yes.
Pummeled. I was pummeled with love, and it had to keep happening over and over and over again, because when I would leave that vibration, I just couldn't
Yes.
hold it. I could not hold on to it.
And like so many of us do, that's when your ego comes in. Was that real? Did that really? Blah, blah, blah. You
Oh,
start
I have
questioning.
such a vivid imagination.
Yes. Yes. And that's the baggage from other people, right? That's part of what we do, is we have taken all those things that everyone said to us as a child into adulthood, whatever, those, because we hold on to the bad stuff. And then it sort of just becomes, we think it
Who
becomes
we
who we
are.
are. Yes.
Mhm.
And it's really not who you are.
No, it's not.
You're believing a bunch of crap that came from somebody else.
Yeah.
And woo! Okay, clarity, clarity. So this past 14 years with this alignment, what's coming is, how much of that can we let go of now? When we aligned and saw that light, and my face is to the light, and I think that was part of the meditation. And we can see now the lies and drop it. Let it go. That's all that it
Shake it off.
Shake it off. Yes. Yes, it's no longer needed. And if you stand with your face to the light, to your destiny, to your purpose, to that alignment, you stand there facing it, you don't see that stuff because it's not who you are. It's not who you are. Let it go. Those are other people's shit that we decided to hold on to, because the shit's often easier to believe.
Well, it is. It's denser. It's heavier. It's easier to
Uh-huh.
grab onto. It's
Yeah.
sticky.
Stick.
Man, um, I
Sorry.
just got truth bombed.
Oh.
I got absolutely truth bombed. I've got tears in my eyes.
Yay.
The past 14 years, I was trying to, well, I was literally in recovery,
Yes.
right? Recovering from the abuse of alcohol, the effects of alcohol, recovering from all of the behaviors
Yes.
that I had
Hmm.
while I was drinking, and then trying to figure out how to change those behaviors. I did a boatload of healing in the last 14 years. I mean, the
Oof.
amount of healing that I've
Oof.
done
Yes. Yes.
is, yeah,
Yeah.
that's not in question.
That's a mountain.
But what hit me was, and this might sound really stupid to somebody out there, and a lot of people, it's sounding stupid as it wants to come out of my brain or out of
Let
my
it come
mouth.
out, sister.
But when you said, I can let it go,
Yeah. Yeah.
I could just,
I
I can let it go.
Yes.
It's run its course.
Yes.
I've figured it
Yes.
out. I've
Yes.
done the healing. I've done the work.
Mhm.
I've released a huge amount of it.
Right.
But for some reason, there's always something that we feel like we got to hold on to it.
I got this image. Sorry.
Go ahead.
As you're talking, Fred's showing me this old beat up shoe. There's just one. There's no mate. And we keep it in our closet next to our other shiny shoes. We keep it right in there, its own little spot. Why the fuck are we holding on to that? Why does that need to be right? It's one. First of all, we don't have a match for it, whatever. It's all raggedy. There's no time that we would need. There's holes in it.
Do you know what would happen if you found the other one? You'd throw them away.
Yeah. So Why are we holding on to that one nasty, beat to shit, smelly, gross shoe? But it has its own spot. We give it its own little lane in your closet or
give it
whatever.
its place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what was coming.
Yeah.
That everyone let go of the old nasty shoes.
Yes.
Let them go. Shake it off. Let it go.
Yeah.
You're holding on to something that just drags you down. And we all do it.
And I am the queen of holding on. I can hold on like no other.
Mhm.
Yeah. And I don't need to.
No.
I don't need to. And I don't know what your verbiage was, but something you said spoke directly to my soul that made so much sense about I
Thank
can
you, friend.
just, I can just, I can shake it off.
Yeah.
Now, the trick is really trusting that and putting it into practice.
Yes. Because we can call it back.
Yeah.
And we have to not want to, I think.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be a battle. Like if you're battling, let go, let go, let go, let go, let go. There's something more in there for you to kind of look at or see, or you don't have quite clarity on it. There's something going on.
Right.
Um,
Yeah. Um, it really needs to be, needs to be as simple as
yeah.
gone.
Oh, what would that be like? I'm such an overthinker and I hold on and I just,
I'll let you know next podcast.
Thank you. Yes.
Because I am determined. I am so determined to just allow all of the past 14 years
Yeah.
to just fall away. I don't need to be a kite. I don't need to carry the tail.
Oh, I like that. No, you don't.
I don't need to be a kite and carry that tail.
And here, and I don't know, and you'll let me know, but there's this feeling of, well, if I let go of all of that, I'll forget where I came from. If I let go of it all, then that means I'm not grateful that I quit drinking.
No.
If I let go of it, and that's just like the opposite. You have earned your place in letting go of it. You've
Yes.
done the work. You're not bypassing a fucking thing. You are. I hope kids aren't listening to this because y'all know I cuss a lot. But
So there's gratitude is not attached to anything. Gratitude lives all on its own.
yes. Yes.
Never thought about that before, but that's what just
That's
came.
beautiful.
Gratitude is self-sustaining.
Gratitude is that service.
Gratitude is definitely self-service.
Yeah.
We can squash gratitude by holding on.
Oh boy.
We can
Done that.
cover it up. We can make it be muddy.
Mm-hmm.
We can hide it and forget we even have it.
Mm-hmm.
And by clearing away all the clutter and allowing that gratitude to be self-sustained, to stand on its own, we can step into it.
Amen.
It can actually carry us.
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Amen, sister.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gratitude can carry us.
Absolutely. And it does. And it does. And it's not as easy to it's so much easier. We touched on this, I think, at the beginning of the podcast, is to, people staying in that light, airy, high vibration is not easy, but it should also not be such a struggle. We make it harder than it is to be grateful and kind of let that go. Let that thought just permeate you and just be in it. Just be in it and let it sort of overshadow the negative stuff, the low vibrational, I want this and I want that, and I don't have this and I don't have that. Because gratitude is really, right, what we have, what we're headed toward, what the beautiful things in our life. Even some of the stuff that wasn't great, I'm in gratitude. I had a shitty ass family. I am in gratitude for all of them because I am who I am today because they helped
Right.
shape me.
Right. Right.
I'm going off somewhere.
Something you said about we make it harder than it needs to be in that high vibration.
Something got you.
Something got me there.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I do struggle with there's no reason I should be not okay, that was going to come out ass backwards.
Yeah.
There is no reason I should be feeling so heavy.
Right.
No reason.
Mm-hmm.
And yet I do.
Right. And at those moments, it can be literally a choice. It can literally, I am choosing to feel heavy and down. I want to feel light and I want to feel the love and the gratitude. Sometimes it really is that you just have to make that decision, right? Sometimes there's something there that you need to work
I
on.
want to say right. And at the same time, thank you, cowboy. Sometimes, yes. Sometimes, yes, it is a choice. Sometimes, yes, we have to. Ooh, I hate this term. Pull up our bootstraps.
Yes.
Hate that term.
Yes.
But sometimes we do. We have to pull up our bootstraps or we have to put on our big girl panties and
Yep.
go, wait a minute. I'm choosing.
Yes.
Sometimes
Yes.
there is something underlying that we are not looking at.
Mm-hmm.
I find it really difficult to choose my way out of that vibration
Mm-hmm.
when there's something I'm not seeing.
Yes. There's your
I hope that made
overthinking. It
sense.
does, but it goes to your overthinking because you want to know what it is that's doing this. You want to know what that heavy feeling is. You want to
Yes.
know, yeah. And sometimes
Yes.
just let it go for like, because when you need to know it, spirit's going to bring it around.
So letting it go and not being worried about feeling high vibrational, but not being so worried about feeling low vibrational.
Right. Just be.
Just be.
Right. Just be right now. Yeah. Yes.
That was kind of a heavy
Yes, it
topic right
was.
there.
I think maybe it's a good time to say goodbye. What
I
do you
think
think?
so.
I think that was a
Because
good place to stop that.
we start a whole conversation on that. We're gonna
I
go
know. And then we
yeah,
don't need
no,
this to be a 5-hour meditate
yeah,
or meditation
meditation.
podcast. Yes. Um, thank you everyone for tuning in today. Thank you, Mari-Lyn, for the beautiful conversation. That was a good, I think it's been a while since we've had this beautiful of a conversation. Our conversations are always good, but there was a lot of
And this was more of a conversation because a lot of the stuff we haven't talked about since you did that meditation and we did
That's
it
true.
together.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to say one more thing about that heavy topic. Just allowing yourself to be in whatever it is that you're feeling is one more way to be in service to yourself.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And as we always say, or in addition to what you're saying, is we're not meant to be at that high vibration all the time.
No.
We're human. We can't. We absolutely can't until we leave this body and this planet. It's just not.
we live in gravity and gravity
Yes.
sucks,
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Fucking gravity. Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Bill, thank you. Yeah, this was
Awesome.
a really great conversation.
If any of you want to contact us, tcseveryday psychics.com will get you to our website, and you can contact us from there. You can look to see our services. We have more students coming up and offering things, and last week was Carissa and Nana. I just call her Nan, but
Oh yeah,
yeah, yes, they're
they
going
had
to
a
be doing more of
great
that.
conversation. Yeah.
More of our practitioners are going to start doing more. This is going to be really, TCS is sort of becoming the it's not just Mari-Lyn and I.
No.
And we're letting that, not just letting them, we welcome our students to come up and to find themselves and become practitioners and to get themselves out there. And so it's yes, we're on here. It's also a training thing. It's a talking thing. It's all kind. Yeah. So
All kinds of stuff.
is shifting and grooving. So
It is. I like that. Shifted and grooving.
it's just what came out.
Yeah.
All
Well,
right.
thank you, everybody.
Yes, thank you.
We would love to hear your comments.
Yeah, please,
Yeah.
please, please. All right. And
See you next time.
see you next time. Bye.
Bye.